With the world growing year upon year and the wildlife that occupies it becoming more and more at risk, there's an increased concern for the safety of these species. Action needs to be taken now in order to ensure that they are protected. There are many organisations helping our natural environment thrive in these times. Dorset Wildlife Trust is one of them and operates throughout the year with a fleet of willing volunteers. The Urban Green Project is just a small piece of the jigsaw of their work. It looks at uplifting and championing wildlife to help man and nature live together in tranquility. We caught up with Sue Dawson, project manager of Dorset Wildlife Trust, to find out about one of the Urban Green projects at St Peter's Church in Bournemouth Town Centre.
The Urban Green project is really good because it provides people with an avenue of volunteering their time, learning about conservation and woodland improvements. Before Dorset Wildlife Trust was involved with this project, and the church, it was just covered in a lot of non-Indigenous plants like laurel and rhododendron.
We've planted a butterfly walk, we've planted 650 plants, we've planted 10,000 daffodils, 1,000 tulips, 4,000 crocuses, so we're hoping that the nature and the beauty will rub off and people will start to respect it.
People enjoy the space more because it has more light in it, they feel a lot safer.
We see hundreds of people walking through the churchyard and they've all commented on how beautiful it is now.
It's a nice pleasure to see the actual wildlife in its natural environment.
Dorset Wildlife Trust has so many wonderful reserves that you can volunteer in and help manage and help protect wildlife and increase biodiversity. We're always looking for volunteers and just to come along to one of the sessions. Dorset Wildlife Trust has a lot, RSPB.
If it wasn't for the Dorset Wildlife Trust and our friends and volunteers, it would be in a right mess. And we're delighted to be associated with the Dorset Wildlife.
It's to bring the community together to work here. Also people from local businesses come and have lunch and use the spaces during their lunchtime.
We have put in trunks of trees what have been cut down at different heights so people can actually sit down and watch the wildlife go by.
We provided finance and expertise to manage the woodland in terms of conservation and increasing biodiversity. We've planted a lot of wildflower bulbs, etc. We've improved the woodland structure. This open space, the churchyard before we came here, provided an area where you couldn't really see into it. It was a lot of secluded space. A lot of homeless people, drug addicts and alcoholics used the space to kind of hang out. Because we've opened it out, we're going to see a lot more wildflowers here, indigenous wildflowers. We've planted a lot of perennial plants for pollinator plants, and that's so important at the moment.
Bournemouth is a small place. It might look like a big place, but word will get around that great work is being done at St Peter's.
It seemed evident that there was a lot of work going into protecting the local landscapes and that there were many ways to get involved. My next task is to find out what it's like for students of Bournemouth and Poole College to get involved and help out in protecting their local environment.